Today on Tumble RC, we find out which is the best of three very closely related Wltoys cars. In fact, they're so closely related, they could be royals.
Purple is the colour of royalty, and I'll be driving the regal-looking 124019.
I'll be driving the 124018, which is a bit of a hooligan that comes complete with two underage joyriders.
And I'll be driving the 144001, the green and blue one, which is also available in red for people with bad taste.
Well, I'm glad I don't own one of them. Moving swiftly on.
First, we wanted to find out which car was fastest. I'd only just received my purple buggy, but that didn't stop Luke and Matthew racing first to get more practice.
We wanted to give you time to read your instruction manual.
That's very considerate of you. Unfortunately, I didn't get any time to read it as I had to operate the camera.
I think your camera angle was crooked as it made it look like Matthew won that first race in the 144001.
Loser!
It's the best of three, and Luke gets very jammy as Matthew spins on gravel.
That was very unlucky. There was some gravel just in front of your starting position, Matthew. I'd made it 1-1, but it was a pretty close call. Then just as I was about to zoom past Matthew in the decider, he rammed me.
Unlucky, Luke. That was loose gravel again.
I couldn't help thinking that my big chance had gone, but then Matthew went wide, and it looked like I was back in. Unfortunately, my car had other ideas and started practicing donuts for the upcoming gravel test. Matthew edged it.
Loser!
Next up was Sarah's 124019.
I didn't have any time to even check my tracking.
No need for that. They calibrate it perfectly at the factory. Best not to ruin it.
All the screws and wheel nuts will be tight as well. It's precision tune, like an expensive Swiss watch.
I had trouble with my car at the start. It kept spinning out, and I wasn't surprised Matthew won the first race in the 144001. They'd had their cars for months. And was my tracking okay?
Perfect.
It was looking like a clean 2-0 win for Matthew. But then the cars collided, with things about to change. Matthew's car then turned into an anteater and went looking for lunch. Sarah's 124019 was back in the race at 1-1.
I finally got a good start, but then I had a little spin and suddenly Matthew caught up. I went wide and Matthew flew down the middle to win 2-1. Matthew scores 5 points as he dominated really, and I think I should get one more point than Luke as he's had his car much longer, and it was the first outing for mine.
Now for we knew which car was fastest. Mine. It was time to see which car looked the coolest, which one had the most curb appeal. Sarah went first with the purple 124019. I like the colour, but the car's a bit long. About 45mm too long.
I think mine's the best looking one out of the bunch. The purple really makes it stand out.
Like a sore thumb.
I like the purple on the wheels and the purple shocks. It's very coordinated, unlike Luke's driving earlier. The longer length than the 144001 should make it more stable, but I wouldn't know as I haven't been given much of a chance to drive it.
I must admit, I'm actually quite fond of the purple. We all like it, in fact. So who likes it the most?
Or cat.
There's lots of space in my car for mods. As we've established, it's longer than the 144001. I like that all of these cars are quite speedy though.
Now my car, the 124018, is clearly the best looking. Just look at that fully functional spare tyre on the back. How cool is that? And the car's a proper off-roader. You can imagine doing the school run in this and getting some admiring nods.
I think that's 2 school kids driving your car. They can barely see over the dashboard.
And your wheels look odd. Why do they put racetrack tyres on an off-road car? It should come with big off-road tyres. It's as silly as putting tractor tyres on a sports car.
Well, Lamborghini make tractors. Anyway, the rear shocks are different on this one. They lean forwards. The car's centre of gravity is much higher, and I think it goes much better on gravel.
We'll find out later.
My car also has more detail with a lovely roll cage.
Do you have to remove the roll cage to access parts of the car? And does it cause any heat build-up?
No comment. More importantly, my car is the only one with lights. It has a whole light bar full of them.
Yes, but they're so dim that you can't actually see them during the day. My 14401 looks the best. It's got my favourite two colours, blue and green.
It looks like they ran out of green paint and finished it off with some blue they had lying around. Oh, all right, I'll admit it. I really like it. I think it looks better in the flesh than the red one. Not that I think I've actually ever seen a red one.
Well, you can't have mine. You're stuck with your red one.
I'll have your red one if you don't want it. I like this more than the 124018.
I think the 14401 is the best value. It's a nice size as well. Your cars are bigger and more expensive, but I don't see that they are worth the extra.
It's hard to beat for the money. I'm tempted to buy one as well, just because it's such good value.
Sadly, we had to agree that the 14401 looked the best and gave it 4 points. The other two cars picked up a measly 3 points, leaving Matthew within touching distance of victory. I needed a miracle on gravel, and fortunately, I had the car to do it.
Luke was first up on the gravel with the 124018.
Sarah and Matthew looked very impressed by my driving on gravel. I could sense an upset was in the air.
Your driving on gravel was rubbish. Where was all the dust?
You didn't do many donuts, it was more like baguettes.
I think deep down they were jealous of what the 124018 could do on gravel that their cars couldn't.
Light up a large piece of gravel in the dark that's 5 centimetres away?
Whatever these two say, the 124018 is brilliant on gravel. With its high centre of gravity, it has a heft to it that the others lack. Powering out of spins and trying to control it is so much fun that mid-donuts are beneath it.
You mean you couldn't do any donuts?
Sarah, you'll have no problem spinning on gravel. You couldn't go straight in the races earlier.
My tracking was off.
No, it wasn't.
Next up is Matthew's 14401.
I hope the dust hasn't been compacted down by Luke's boring drive. Gravel isn't really about spins, it's about making lots of dust. I love the 14401 on gravel. It's fast and controls are good, and there's less car to clean the dust off later.
There's certainly a lot of dust. This 14401 is like a Tasmanian dust devil. Can you even see your car, Matthew?
This was my favourite bit. My car hit the curb and did a somersault. Do I get extra points?
I think it's a points deduction if you've bent the shock tower. Should we say -4 points? Actually, your front shock tower looks fine. Mine's better protected, by the way. And I must admit, your gravel driving style is fun.
Nice car, Matthew. I like a car that can do donuts. I'm also glad to hear that you're going to clean the car yourself. I'm not sure I can catch your 14401, but I think I can beat Luke's spaghetti.
Last was Sarah in the 124019.
I thought you were last. I really like my 124019 so far, and it seemed very controllable on the gravel.
I've got a horrible feeling there is going to be a grave injustice, and the brilliant 124018 is going to come last despite being the best car. This is the gravel grey section, and it's like the 124019 is dancing on ice.
Ice donuts. I think your tracking might need adjusting after all. Sarah, are you trying to drive straight?
All three of these cars are really nice, and you can't go wrong with any of them. I'd pick the purple buggy as that's the one I like the look of the most. My next choice would be the 14401 because it's such good value.
I don't think you've done enough to catch Matthew's 14401.
But at least I'm confident I've beaten the spaghetti.
Let's find out.
I'm not very happy that 124019 came first in gravel with 5 points. My 14401 created a lot more dust and did a somersault. Why does the spaghetti get 3 points? Just one less. Anyway, be that as it may, today we have proven which car is the best. It's the Wltoys 14401. The green and blue one, that is.